Alright, so we're moving on to episode 82 of Dragon Ball Super. This episode is called Never Forgive Son Goku, Toppo, the Warrior of Justice intrudes. Okay, so, right off the bat, I would have to say that this was a good episode and we did learn some interesting things here. So definitely 2 thumbs up for that. There were some kind of wonky things. We'll get into it. Let's jump into it. Now, this episode opens up with Goku and Toppo having a little bit of a back and forth that I really have to praise. I've said it many times throughout my reviews now, as when Masako Nozawa, when she gets super into the super serious Goku voice, super not fucking around, it is just so perfect, and it really, I just feel like portrays this character very well. I think that's one reason why Goku Black is my favorite Dragon Ball villain, is just the way Masako Nozawa portrayed him was absolutely perfect and really did give him such a menacing feel. And right here at the start, as Goku's sort of talking to Toppo throughout this fight, he's talking in a way that is kind of in a similar menacing vein. Very clearly, Goku is being portrayed as the villain in the Universal Survival Arc, obviously from the perspective of all of the different universes, and Goku is not really shying away from that. He's not evil, none of this ridiculousness that I've seen a lot lately on YouTube and on Twitter of people talking about how, oh, Goku's actually evil. Did Zamasu, infect him? Is he possessed? No. Goku is just, he's got that confidence, that swagger, and he's really not shying away from, being in this role of being the enemy of all the universes. And it does seem like that's going to be kind of the moving forward point, the narrative that we're pushing here in the Universal Survival Arc it is kind of almost shining a light on Goku as a villain. I really have to say, I hope they continue this and they explore this a little bit more, because there's this is a very good examining of Goku's character overall. I hope at a certain point we don't just drop it and be like, all right, well, on to the next shit. This is very interesting, and I am enjoying a lot of the stuff that's happening right now. So what happens is the Universe 11 Kaioshin, right at the start of the episode, appeals to Zeno-sama to allow his personal bodyguard Toppo to battle Goku, since they were so impressed with Goku's strength. And of course, Zeno-sama, seeing this big strong guy there and a chance to see Goku fight again, Zeno is like, fuck yeah, let's do it up. So the match between Goku and Toppo kicks off. Goku goes just Super Saiyan at the start of the fight, which is interesting because there's a later moment when Toppo's like, oh, now you're showing your true power, when Goku goes Super Saiyan Blue. But it's like, hold on, everyone was just watching Goku's fight with Bergamo. So I'm a little annoyed that Toppo didn't immediately go, hey, motherfucker, can you go to that stronger form? Although, we do not have confirmation, I suppose, if Toppo can sense ki at all, or if he can sense God ki. See, oh man, that's going to create kind of an interesting thing in the Universal Survival Arc, is which characters can sense ki at all, and then which characters can actually take it a step further and sense God ki. That's a thing that almost is being shied away from. When Dragon Ball Super started, it's like, oh, okay, we can't really sense Beerus's ki, and we can't sense Goku's ki as Super Saiyan God, so that means he's a real god. And then, there's kind of some stuff where it's like, oh, is Frieza able to sense God ki? Now, is Trunks able to sense God ki, since he talked about sensing Vegito's power? It's a real slippery slope. But regardless, Goku just takes Super Saiyan for the start of the fight against Toppo. Now, it is real interesting because all of Toppo's attacks are he puts justice in front of them, which isn't really so surprising with the way he's talking about, crushing evil. He's a warrior of justice. He can't allow evil to go, unrepentant. All this craziness. However, if any of you guys have played a lot of the Dragon Ball games that have come out, within the past 15 years or so, I don't know, somewhere around there, a lot of times Great Saiyaman in all of the games a lot of his moves are called like Justice Kick, Justice Combination, shit like that. So I'm just thinking about this specifically in the future for Dragon Ball games once Toppo is added. Are we going to have Great Saiyaman with all of his Justice attacks? And then we're going to have Toppo with the same exact attack names? Like, that's going to be kind of interesting. Now, as Goku and Toppo are fighting, Toppo gets the advantage, and he's proving to be very nimble and very acrobatic, and he is kind of like attacking Goku's joints. Like, at one point, he separates Goku's shoulder. It is an interesting little start to the fight here. And this specifically leads to Gohan saying, oh, perhaps I am a Saiyan as well. You know, I do have Saiyan blood in my veins. This fight is getting me excited, and I'm like, ugh. Here we fucking go. Toei Animation, why? Why do they love cock teasing Gohan fans so much? Just so unnecessary. They go so far out of their way to take a feather and just tickle Gohan fans' balls and vaginas. Like, just let Gohan rock, Toei Animation, please. Now, we already, that fight he had was phenomenal. And, we have had some hints that Gohan's going to come back 10 times stronger in the actual Tournament of Power. But, jeez, they really have to fuck with us, huh? So the fight continues, Toppo's tossing out his Justice Crusher and all of his different Justice attacks. And Zeno-sama's, oh, Justice, Justice, just absolutely loving it. And Toppo gets Goku in like a big-ass kind of, like a headlock, which the Universe 11 God of Destruction calls the Justice Rear Naked Choke. I'm like, okay, we really have got some names going on here then. And they mentioned that, this is going to crush all of Goku's bodies. And we actually get the finest of all of the angels, Margarita or Margarita, however you want to say it. Clearly her name is obviously, Margaritas. That's obviously what her name is pertaining to, with a lot of the, godly naming scheme being like alcohol, different like, names of alcohol, rosé, for example, Beerus says beer, Weiss, it all makes sense. Love the Harley Quinn look she's got, and she even is kind of like, oh, this looks like this is the end. But of course, Goku is like, oh, geez, guess it's time to get serious now. And he busts out his Super Saiyan Blue, and he begins working over Toppo quite a bit here. The fight goes on for a little bit longer. Goku beats his ass, and Goku begins charging up the Kamehameha. Now, I mean, it's not really 100% confirmation that this is what Goku does, but Toppo uses, I guess his energy attack, Justice Flash. We'll be seeing that in Dokkan Battle very soon, I'm sure. And Goku teleports out of the way, right, and then, appears right next to Toppo. It looks as though he does the instant transmission Kamehameha. Now, again, it could just be the super fast movement, because most of the teleporting that happens in Dragon Ball is just the characters moving very fast, but, they want to make it look real flashy on the show. But, like, Goku's instant transmission is a true teleport. Hard to tell if that's exactly what he does here. Now, Toppo, surprisingly, completely just eats that shit. Goku's, Super Saiyan Blue, powerful God Kamehameha, Toppo completely tanks it, and he's okay, but he did definitely take some damage. And it is funny, too, because Beerus thought, oh, damn, Goku got carried away and killed him. And it's like, oh, no. And you do love it, because the camera kind of focuses on Goku for, more than a single beat, and waits until Goku starts smiling. It's like, oh yeah, Goku, he's loving the fight. Now, Toppo is really upset that his Pride Trooper uniform was damaged by Goku's Kamehameha, and he specifically says it's the same as defiling our pride. So he's like, I will show you true justice. And his aura kicks up, and it looks like he's about to get 10 times stronger. And then Goku is like, yeah, show me your real power. I'll show you, what it looks like once I've passed my limit. And it's like, oh, wait a minute, what is this? And Goku kicks up the Super Saiyan Blue Kaioken again. And it even points over to Zeno-sama, and he's like, pass his limit with a question mark, getting real excited. And, Goku and Toppo are both powering up. And then the Daishinkan stops it. Now, this is really interesting right here, because to me, personally, I believe this is what we saw from the intro. If you guys remember, there's that little thing in the intro where it looks like Goku, does something we haven't seen before, where he maybe takes a new form or something, goes to the original Super Saiyan God form. Just something that's, not just Super Saiyan Blue, because we see him powering up from Super Saiyan Blue, and then, he has that mysterious red aura, then he appears to fight in base form. Now, I think that this is what Goku was about to do right here. I think he was about to take this brand new form we have not seen yet, but the Daishinkan cuts in and stops it out. So here we go. So at the very least, we're going to get this little egg tossed at us that Goku is going to pass his limit. I'm very curious to see what this is going to be. Obviously, Goku will bust us out in the Tournament of Power, likely against Jiren, and it is confirmed in this episode that is who Goku is battling in the intro. Now, the Daishinkan stops the fight and kind of explains to Zeno, at this rate, one of them really might die. We kind of need to save that for the tournament. We don't want these two to not participate in the tournament. And Zeno-sama kind of allows it. And Goku is, real disappointed. He's like, oh, well, if that's what he wants. And Goku, powers down to base, and he's super happy. He's like, boy, Toppo, I didn't realize there were going to be strong guys like you. I can't wait for the tournament. And he holds his hand out to kind of shake Toppo's hand. And Toppo's like, I don't have any intention of shaking the enemy's hand. And it's like, damn, Toppo. And then Toppo reveals that he is not the strongest fighter of the Universe 11. He says, my sworn friend, Jiren the Grey. If you are equally matched with me, you don't stand a chance against him. Obviously, Jiren is the character that we saw in the intro fighting Goku, and it was confirmed, via some spoilers previously. So now we know exactly who that is. And, Goku goes back up, and Gohan is super excited. It's like, damn, I can't believe this universe has stronger fighters than this. And it's all happy days, except for the fact that everyone's about to die when all the universes are erased, Goku. Now, Toppo heads back over to Vermoth, or Burmoth, however you want to say the Universe 11's God of Destruction, the Clown God of Destruction. They call him Belmod in the Crunchyroll subs. I'm gonna have to see a couple more episodes and see some things about how this character's name is actually going to be. But he is kind of talking with Toppo, and Toppo mentions that he's not sure if he can beat Goku in the tournament, but he really believes that Jiren can. At this point, the Daishinkan begins construction of the Tournament of Power fighting arena, and kind of mentions that the tournament will be held in 40 hours. And so everyone leaves to go prepare their respective teams. And there's even a funny line with Champa where he's like, boy, I sure hope Hit is, one of 10 similar brothers. And it's like, wow, okay. That certainly would be interesting if there were 10 hits, but that's definitely not going to happen. So the final scene of the episode is when the Kaioshin teleports everyone back to the supreme world of the Kais, and Goku, Beerus, and Whis kind of discuss, everything that's happened, what's going down. Goku and Beerus argue quite a bit here before eventually Beerus decides that they're going to have a strategy meeting at Bulma's, and he wants to eat delicious foods before presumably the universe is destroyed. Obviously, he doesn't have a lot of faith in our boy Goku. Now, one thing that is really interesting that does happen here is I've seen a lot of discussion. A lot of people, I don't know if they're just on their phones while they're watching these episodes, or if they just burn through them so fast and don't go back and watch, or don't care about small details. But a lot of people are confused about this mortal rank that Zeno-sama has given about a lot of the universes. And a lot of people think it's based directly off of strength, even though we have now seen several instances in which it's heavily implied that it has nothing to do with strength, including in this conversation with Beerus and Goku, where Goku, they're kind of going back and forth, and Goku mentions, Beerus, giving me shit about possibly having the universes get destroyed, but you were destroying random planets all over the place. And Beerus is like, it was not random, fucker! And then he says, the reason our universe level is second from the bottom has to be because you're dragging our level way down, in which Goku responds with, yeah, but Gohan is just raising it up instead. Therefore, more evidence to the fact that it is not based on strength, but instead probably the quality of civilization and culture. Of course, Gohan is a great scholar, is incredibly intelligent, and, Gohan, whatever, as a scientist, as a teacher, whatever he could do, he definitely would raise the rank of the universe for sure. More evidence of this. I did enjoy this scene quite a bit. So the episode ends there with Goku and Gohan. They are ready to go find 10 warriors. Obviously, Goku, Gohan, and Buu are 3, so they need to go find 7 more. And of course, since they're going to Bulma's for a strategy meeting, obviously the first person they're going to try and recruit is Vegeta. We will see in the next episode how that goes.